Aquarius, hello, Ali from Indigo Ascension. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, please do go ahead and check out the links below, the description box below, for links to my Facebook page and my website, where you'll find a little bit more about the work that I do as an intuitive energy healer. On the channel, for empaths, intuitives and sensitives, you're going to find fortnightly and monthly in-depth readings which carry the intention for higher consciousness healing, okay? This is about embodiment. This is about integration. All that we know on a higher consciousness level, and see how that may be mirrored and reflected in 3D realities, challenges, relationships. It's one thing to say that we are awakening and experiencing some form of ascension. It's quite the other to work with that descension energy, yeah, to really ground down all that higher knowledge into the everyday realities that we find us. Because it is within these realities where we meet the mirror, we meet our shadow self, we meet the opportunity to integrate our higher self, okay? Now, unique and only on Instagram, you will find the quick reads, and they're done each week to give each of the zodiacs a check-in on the potential energies they may be working with, integrating for the week, okay? So they're brief 5-minute videos. However, the readings on the channel go a little bit more in depth, okay? I incorporate all that I know on energy management, meditation, my experience with ascension, and how that may apply to empaths, intuitives and sensitives that are experiencing the same. All right, my lovely aquas, each video will include a cosmic compass recap to give everyone an idea of the potential of the energies at play, okay? And these are the potential alchemical opportunities to integrate higher wisdom. How can we say, you know, that as above, so below, if we're not sort of paying attention truly with what's going on up there in the cosmos and being able to see how that is reflected down here? It's all one and the same thing. So if you haven't already, please do go ahead and check out the June readings. This is going to be your monthly practically soulful reading for July. I'm going to do something a little bit different. However, I'll talk about that further. We've got 5 planets in retrograde, as well as the asteroids, okay? So if you work with Chiron energy, if you work with Sarah's energy, you know, we're going to see an amplification of that healer energy, the wounded healer, how we're growing from our wounds of the past, how we're learning about nurture, new ways to nurture, reviewing and reflecting on how we were nurtured, our relationship with nurture, which only just amplifies the already retrograde energy in play thanks to Pluto, Jupiter. Venus has wrapped up its retrograde, Saturn, as well as Mercury, okay? So we're really redefining foundations thanks to the Master 22 and the 4 energy of 2020. We're going through and defining what it is that we've learned, how we want to reset new boundaries, foundations, beliefs, all of this stuff. Retrograde seasons are typical of, you know, permeating the collective with this idea and feeling of reviewing the journeys that they have been on. So it's very common for the past to come back into play in one way or another, if it is just a thought, if it is just a memory, lingering energy connections, whatever the case may be. They are here to rise in our awareness for our greater teaching, integration, or release, whatever the case may be. Now, you guys are particularly affected by the Saturn retrograde because it is just going to be moving into Aquarius temporarily again. Sorry, it has been moving through Aquarius and it's temporarily going back into Capricorn in the month of July before you guys take that energy of Saturn, you know. And when we look at Aqua, when we look at Aquarius energy, when we look at Saturn, Saturn is the role of the father. It is rules, structures, the patriarchy, okay? Aquarian energy is very 5D, high consciousness. It is a new way of doing things. You guys here are gifted with that bringing in of the new energy as we release the energy of Pisces, the age of Pisces, okay? So many aquas are waking up to their greater selves, greater purpose, okay? Watch how that energy rolls out in the collective and the roles the aquas will be playing. That's not dismissing any of the roles of the zodiacs, okay? They all play a part and parcel, but you guys are bringing in the age of Aquarius, and that is a big task in itself. What else did I want to say? We've got a full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn on the 5th in the early part of July. Venus continues its retrograde shadow motion right through to the end of July, all right? We have a new moon in Cancer on the 20th, and I've mentioned the retrogrades already, but let's take a look and see what energies want to come up for you. I wanted to do something a little bit different with this month's reading, simply because it's the check-in point. It's almost like a crossroads, all right? It's, as all of us know, there's been a lot of global unrest and change given our circumstances, you know, currently, and it is very much telling of the planetary placements that are in play, you know, this change and disruption and this love versus fear, freedom versus restriction energy that many of us have been sort of marinating in and feeling that sort of explode within us and around us, within our collective environments, our society, our families, our personal relationships. So I wanted to do something different for July, simply as a check-in, as a mirror. I've done a similar reading before in June, for the first part of June, I think I did. But this is about doing a check-in. Obviously, how you started your year is going to be quite different to how you end your year. It's going to be looking very different today than what it did on the 1st of January, okay? And the intentions you walked into with this year. So I wanted to do a mirror of your human consciousness, your 3D consciousness, your conscious awareness and intentions of what this year as a greater whole was going to be for you, and then look at that in comparison to your higher consciousness. Listen to that crow. Crows are the timeline travelers. Look at that in comparison to your higher consciousness and what soul is wanting for you overall this year. Okay, I thought it'd be a beautiful reading to do. But let's take a look and see. I've also pulled 3 soul cards to give you an idea of the overall energies at play that will be rising in your awareness, being worked with this year as an opportunity for healing, okay? I definitely see there was a youthful approach in your consciousness to start this year out with explorations around, and I'm going to say youthful as a good way to explain like infancy even, you know, a youthful approach to experiencing love, expressing your emotions, experiencing emotions. That was perhaps a goal that many aquas out there that were wanting to sort of use 2024, okay? You're also working quite a lot more with another level of your intuition and really getting clear on the gift intuition can really be on a higher consciousness level, you know? We're not just logically making decisions. We can also make that on a higher consciousness level by incorporating the wisdom of our intuition as well as the wisdom of our heart. I do see here for many aquas perhaps a deep desire to celebrate some form of victory in the emotional body, your experience of your emotions, your relationship to your emotions. This is actually the reading. Now, I did the quick read for aquas, and I think it was even the June readings for the last 2 weeks of June where I said I'm really excited to see how this shifts and changes, because I noticed a sudden desire to look at your relationship with your emotions, Aqua. And yes, you guys are critical thinkers. You're amazing with the mind. You know, you guys rule the element of air. However, you are also the water bearer. So it's almost like Pandora's box sitting deep within you. You intuitively and instinctively can read emotions. However, when it comes to your own, there could most definitely, for many aquas, be this push-pull relationship with it, where I'm continually having to be logic about what I'm feeling and not get carried away with flights of fancy, yeah? So I see this youthful approach, a passionate approach, a desire to feel more confident with how I'm offering my heart, with how emotions are being offered to me, and not feel so uncomfortable as what I'm feeling here. This is about passionately expressing myself from a heartfelt perspective, Aqua, rather than just from the mind. Many aquas will be perhaps dealing with new relationships, or at least relationships with a youthful energy that has been imbued, like there's this passion and desire. But you also have a very one in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out relationship with emotions altogether, Aqua, when I see these two cards. You know, you want to face your emotions head on. This is the Knight of Wands. This is the Knight of Cups. This rules the body of emotions. This rules our energy body and our passion, our creativity, our confidence, all right? This is our fire body. And for many Aquas, it can almost feel like playing with fire when it comes to our emotions and getting to the depths, yeah? But you were wanting to be clear on some level about what you were intuitively experiencing when it comes to life, your connections, your experience of love, your experience of your path to date, Aqua, okay? When the Ace of Swords shows up, don't make no mistake, it is ruled by you guys. This is the element where you guys are amazing. But you also knew on some level you wanted to take your beliefs, your ideas, even your fears to that next level to truly get clear and understand. You know, there was a truth you were seeking on many levels this year. You know, you were wanting the truth. You were wanting to see the final truths before progressing even on a path that perhaps felt like you were navigating within the dark and having to rely solely on intuition and instinct, which can be quite uncomfortable for you guys if you don't have an opportunity to really get clear and make something logic. It has probably been a challenge for many Aquas to be logical about their intuitive knowing, their emotional knowing this year. Yeah? I'm definitely getting a 1 foot in, 1 foot out. This decisive, you know, you probably even started the year with this desperate need to get clear on some level on what I just saw 11:22 on the clock. Okay, so 22 is the master teacher, 11 is the master intuitive. This has been about mastering your intuition and, more importantly, Aqua, truly trusting the voice of soul. And a very big pathway to that is through the emotions. It was almost essential. Like, you can say, I want to be more stronger in the mind. I want to be more advanced with my conscious awareness. I want to truly embrace cognitive dissonance, if you like, which is simply when a new belief, a new idea is presented to us. And you guys are actually probably the masters at holding space for cognitive dissonance because you are so accepting of the greater whole. You do see things from that higher view. You are comfortable in the mind, make no mistake. It is challenge for you. It's a challenge for you to get down into your emotional body, into the heart, to truly feel it. And perhaps it's because of loss, okay? The losses of the past, all right? And how you are unable to integrate that in order to transmute it so that it no longer pollutes your journey forward. Now, July, okay, is a marker point, particularly for you guys, and many Aquas will be feeling this. You'll be reviewing the last 6 months and be like, yeah, I do see how I've grown in many ways, where I've been more accepting of my intuition. I'm really working with the language of soul. However you see that, synchronicities, wisdom messages, whatever the case may be, many Aquas are advancing, moving forward, celebrating some sort of victory when it comes to your previous limitations, when it comes to your relationship to emotions, which is reflected in love relationships. It's reflected in our family dynamics. It's reflected in the environment and the ways in which we originally learned about love, connection. Now, as Venus removes itself from retrograde and goes into direct motion, you're going to be feeling an ease in July. The shadow elements of it are still permeating until the 27th of July, like I said earlier. So you will be still tuning, if you like, these lessons, these wisdoms, this awareness will be permeating below the surface for you guys. But make no mistake, if there's some frustrations when it comes to a deep desire to move forward, to know, to see, to get clarity, to get truth, you're going to feel that grasping at straws less severely is what I'm feeling here. Like there's forward movement after July that feels more effortless after being able to cut away. And what I'm feeling here with the cutting away is an old way of connecting into your emotional body, your intuitive body, okay? And that naturally brings a level up into our awareness. And it's all for a purpose of being truly able to review how much has been lost, yes, but not staying stuck, okay? This is fast movement. We're moving forward. We're wanting to move forward, Aqua. We're not wanting to stagnate in the losses because it is in this energy. We're never going to be looking up. Look at them. We're looking at, if we're only looking up, we're remembering old memories of loss and the times we lost and the times it wasn't worth using our emotions or connecting into them as freely as we should have, expressing our emotional truth as much as we wanted, and reverting back to practical, logical ways in which to experience connection or even just experience our life, you know. This really is a deeper subconscious wisdom lesson about the true cost of pride, okay, and how our actions, you know, are they based on a full heart of a deep connection to your emotional body, or do we continually revert back to old ways, old beliefs, old fears, old focuses that prevent us truly from moving forward, Aqua? The King of Wands rules the fire body, you know. It is about confidence. It is about genuine and empowered will. But in the shadow, like, not that I read reverses, okay? It is about pride. It is about confidence, and how that can also eventually, when it comes to our actions, when it comes to this masculine energy of acting on our passions, on our fire body, we can get too prideful to truly, you know, experience deep emotions, is what I want to say here. Like, there was this push-pull energy between experiencing passions and understanding love can be passions, yes, but also too, passions alone do not sustain us from a wholesome perspective. You, like I said, you guys are great with the mind. You guys are probably even enjoy or feel safe in the energy body, in the passion body, within the fire body, but it's the emotional body you keep hidden, or have been reluctant to experience to its greater capacity, because this is infant energy, okay? This is only a knight. It's not the queen or the king. To truly experience it can bring us to that next level of self, Aqua, so that we're experiencing our emotions just as strongly as you already experience your thoughts and the powerful relationship you have with them. But make no mistake, you're getting clear, and by dipping into your emotions and to your intuition, okay, it's going to amplify everything else anyway. It's going to amplify the thoughts, the thought processes, okay? But Cancer season, Cancer, which is also, you know, what the Chariot is ruled by, is the mother. For many Aquas, this is about the relationship you have with your mother, the mother type figures that have been prominent with regards to how you experience emotions, with how you experience loss, with your relationship with emotions, more importantly, and how you have or haven't nurtured them. Okay, when we go back to the womb, we get clear that we are led not just by the light and flights of fancy, but we are led by the dark as well, the shadow experiences, the losses. Wow, I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. I had to press pause because my dog was barking. Maybe that is relevant, okay? Dogs represent loyalty. They represent alert, you know, being made alert. Maybe many Aquas out there felt like they had to be alert, okay? When it comes to the realms of connection, love, and how you've nurtured your emotions, okay? Rather than be authentic and vulnerable with your emotions, you felt like you had to be on alert because of losses, because of the influence losses has played in your life, okay? Be on alert for potential losses, so never fully giving from a heartfelt. I feel like that's relevant. Like, I'm already just seeing, and I experience this. This is just the row that represents your conscious awareness of what you wanted to integrate. So many Aquas, it'd be interesting to see what happens with the higher consciousness row that I want to put out, okay? The overall energy themes for you this year, Aqua, is trust, humor, and service. Now, when I look at all these themes, it's about the relationship I have with trust, which ties into my intuition, okay? It's about how my actions, my beliefs are of service to me. How have they served you? These beliefs that you have held so fast that perhaps need to be cut away so that you can truly move forward. All right, move forward and out of energy paradigms that keep you stuck in loss and what was lost. How are you being of service to yourself? How have your thoughts, your beliefs been of service to you? Which naturally, when we grow, when we evolve, when we embrace that cognitive dissonance and that discomfort that naturally happens when our emotions are challenged because we're vulnerable, okay? when we truly embrace those opportunities to take ourselves to that next level through the choice of risk, through the choice of vulnerability, how are we then of service to others? Well, simply, Aqua, we're showing everyone that it is safe to love, it is safe to be vulnerable, it is safe to push ourselves outside of our comfort zones, to do what is not natural to us, yeah? And how do we challenge ourselves? How do we support ourselves through these challenges? Well, it is through humor. Okay, this is about a deep wisdom that's trying to be embedded within the heart chakra this year. It is about reignition and purifying the solar plexus as well, so that the heart chakra can be, why do I keep saying regenerized? I don't know even if that's a word. Mercury retrograde is in my mouth, Aqua. Rejuvenated, you know, like it is through the power of our will, our solar plexus, our willpower, our confidence, this life force energy that exists here, so that it can amplify and touch all other chakras. Its purpose for you this year is about holding safe that heart chakra and perhaps even blossoming it in a new way by enriching it with deeper wisdom, stuff that you've known for a long, long time, things you have forgotten perhaps or let go of, you know, along your journey. And what do we do when we achieve all of that? Well, we get a natural upgrade to our third eye chakra. This is the third eye and crown. You guys love that energy. You know, this is where you rule. You rule the energy of the mind. More importantly, the opportunity to all aquas is to experience the higher mind. Like I said earlier, though, it is infused with the wisdom of our emotional body as well as our intuition. So it is through whatever makes us feel not confident, makes us feel like we're taking a risk to open our heart, to upgrade our heart chakra by starting first with the solar plexus, that we naturally then upgrade our third eye, and we see in a whole new way. We see trust in a whole new way. We see our relationship to self and our choices in a whole new way, and that we are always safe to trust, because we can trust that we will always respond, not react, in the moment, at any moment, whenever we are so called to. This feels good, Aqua. Okay, let's take a look and see what high consciousness cards want. I do want to make mention, though, that at the bottom of the deck is this King of Wands energy, and perhaps that's who you have been for the most part. When it comes to your emotions, you have comfortably sat within the realms of the sacral chakra, the creative body, the sensual body, the energy body, the passion body, okay? This creativity has been strong in you, yes, but that's not the chakra. That is not the energy body you have needed to focus as far as a core underlying unblocking, so that we are more than just a physical body. We're an emotional body, a thought body, an energy body, and a soul. Okay, we also know that the passions can go either way. It can ignite and it can burn. It can lead us to choices that, you know, when we've been led by our passions, that we are not congruent with the whole self, the whole experience, the wisdom of everything, you know. And you're comfortable in this energy, Aqua, perhaps, but underneath all of this, and the reason we have to travel through the emotional body to get to the true sense of self, is so that you can be divinely inspired by your higher self, that you can lead your life with your higher self right there with you. This is you in the major arcana. You are the star. Okay? And I can keep going, but it is about you holding back from actually meeting yourself, your higher self. All right, let's take a look and see. And when I talked earlier about this youthful energy of the knights, yeah, the Knight of Wands has nowhere near as much wisdom as the King of Wands. And this is underneath it all. You are still trying to get to a wisdom and understanding of the passion body, being ruled by our passions, reacting with our passions, making choices based on our passions, which is not the wisdom of the higher mind. It is not the wisdom of incorporating our emotionally balanced emotion body, yeah? Let's take a look and see what higher consciousness experiences this year wanted to present for you. Temperance, Page of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, the Four of Cups. Exactly. This was about you coming into complete control. You've got more major arcana, like you've got 2 major arcana cards. You knew this was going to be a big year, but perhaps you felt that it was going to, the divine was going to bring you something. But what the divine wants you to know is that this was completely in your favor all along. This was completely within your control all along. I've only got 1 major arcana on the bottom row here. Okay, so for many aquas that I'm connecting into, maybe on some level you thought life was going to bring you something to help you get. You intuitively knew, you instinctively knew this year was going to bring something, yeah? For this next level of your experience of self, consciousness, emotions, whatever the case may be, your relationship with love and connection, intimacy and vulnerability. Excuse me. But the divine wants you to know that it was within your own ability to navigate this path. All the ingredients were already on the table is what I'm hearing, okay? You had everything, the wisdom from past experiences, your knowledge and awareness that was sitting right front and center. But let me tell a bit of a story here. Maybe you're connected into a Sagittarius, okay? And what I do want to say, that relationship is significant, whatever, or Sagittarius season, so that is November, December last year, okay? Take it however it resonates. It could be up to 1 to 2 years ago that there was a November or a Sagittarius, maybe both, that was significant for the tipping point, which led you down this path. There was a spiritual healing happening in November last year of 2019 or the year before. Or there was a spiritual healing here that was invoked by a Sagittarius, or you've really been trying to heal a relationship with a Sagittarius, okay? I feel like that's very relevant to say. Now, Sagittarians rule fire. This influence is significant for you. That's why I wanted to really make the most of this. Maybe it's a connection you have had since your teen years into adulthood. Whatever the case may be, it's relevant. The divine has been trying to point your attention and focus into this connection. It's been trying to point your attention and focus into this, the role of the spiritual healing that may have kicked off in Sagittarius season last year. Something needed to be blended here, needed to be worked with, combined for true healing and growth, okay? This is you not just using your thoughts, but also your emotions, okay? Look at this. There's fire and water in one cup here. Your experience of your emotions can sometimes feel, perhaps in the past, felt like fire, like there was a threat. But how you can truly blend this truth that, you know, water is simply healing and it can distinguish any fire. Yeah, and when fire and water combine, what happens? Well, the water does distinguish the fire, but more importantly, steam happens. Like steam it's something that exists. It can't be seen. It is just felt, yeah? We just know that it's there. We can sometimes see it. Like you are subconsciously aware. You are intuitively aware of what needed to be healed, what needed to be integrated, what needed to be blended to make whole. Perhaps you were doing a lot of research around this. Like it's definitely a watching and waiting. It wasn't something that you were perhaps openly talking about, but you may have been. You may have been doing a lot of research. You may have been doing a lot of watching. But this research, this sitting back, this infant discussion, okay, with self, with others, whatever the case may be, as far as everything you've learned about your journey when it comes to loss, when it comes to love, when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your relationship with your emotions, more importantly, there was a divine gift that has been sparked this year. And I'm going to say it's even happened in the last few months, okay? So we're in June now, and this is July reading. More importantly, we're at the end of June. Something happened in the first few months of this year, of 2020, which ignited, or was even a gift. Maybe this was the spark of a new relationship, a reignition in an already existing one. You know, the divine offers us a gift by saying, hey, if you haven't quite incorporated your beliefs fears, vulnerabilities around love, here's a relationship where you can do so. Here's an opportunity where you can open your heart, Aqua. Okay? Birth of a child, whatever the case may be, birth of a relationship. This is just a divine gift. You're seeing a divine gift, an opportunity to truly heal something. When it comes to your relationship with commitment, okay, when it comes to your experience of the long haul, of how you're going to take this relationship you have with your emotions, your expression of self, how you're truly going to allow that to be a strong foundation. Look, you got 3 knights here, guys. The Knight of Coins, the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. This is about practical application of our passions, but from a heartfelt perspective. We're working with the emotional body, we're working with the fire body, okay, the energy body. We're working with the physical body here. Many Aquas were feeling this on the physical on some level, watching your physical reality take form as you were invited to take this gift from the divine. Make a commitment, begin something new here. I do see here where Aquas have been working with this energy of conflict, more importantly, inner conflict, because on some level, on many levels, you still refuse to take the cup of love that is on offer. We're not believing, we're still influenced by the energy of this loss, okay? But deep inside, you know you want to move forward. You want a victory. You want clarity, okay? This feels strong, like it's like an opportunity to love that you may or may not take, but you know you want to, you know? And you know what happens, Aqua? The divine will keep presenting you with an opportunity to integrate your higher wisdoms until you say yes to life. Until you say yes to your higher self. The beauty of this deck, this is the Gilded Tarot, unlike every other 4 of Cups in most tarots, in the traditional tarots even, the 4 of Cups figure, he's not looking at the cup being offered, okay? This is another gift from the divine. This tells me that this passion in the Ace of Wands is a gift from the divine. If this is a cup of love being offered by the hand of God, whatever you want to call it, it's coming out of nowhere. But in this deck, he's actually looking at it. In all other decks, the 4 of Cups figure is generally looking away. He's too focused on the 3 here. So there's a wisdom that happens for many Aquas this year where you're removing yourself from just staying focused only on the flights of fancy. Now, the 3 of Cups is an emotional joy, celebration, and I could have youthful, keep saying youthful because you've got 3 knights. I can be naive in the early stages of a relationship and have youthful beliefs or boundary lines when it comes to love, you know, but we do know as a relationship progresses, as we progress, as we evolve, love takes many forms and demands so much more of us, you know. Do I choose love simply because it's passionate and exciting? What happens once that fire is distinguished? Do I still choose love? Do I revert back to old ways? Do I become conflicted about how much more I want to keep going, traveling, taking? How committed am I to experiencing a full force of love in its wholesome context and not just for the exciting passion and fleeting moments of love? Love is many colors, many shades. And as we travel the journey of love, we know that it is filtered with both light and dark, and we are guided by the wisdom of both. It is a solo journey that we choose to take with another. Our experience of love is unique to us all, Aqua. But at the end of the day, this is about, has it been of service to you so far? Maybe the year 2020 was all about deciding how much your heart chakra has been of service to you truly in your experience of love, of self, of growth, of truly releasing the pains and losses of the past. I see a lot of Aquas have already integrated deeper healings here, because these are what I would call not so. There's not a lot of deep healing here. You know, this is when the Temperance card shows up. It's, to me personally as a reader, it's like the final. sigh of release. It's like the final, that's what 2020 is really offering you to get square with this year, you know. And I see here, you know, that your higher consciousness or soul has handed it completely in full faith that you can win this battle. You can, you know, remain victorious and walk away from the conflicts that no longer serve you. This was the year of change. You've got triple fives now. This was the year of change for you, where true change could be welcomed, integrated, a new way of doing things, living, loving, connecting, trusting. Okay? A lot of divine inspiration when the Eight of Wands shows up. Yes, it's a communication card, but I'm also feeling this is divine downloads, synchronicities, messages from the divine in your higher self. Because look what follows. It's the Hermit. It's the wisdom that we all carry within. Your past, your childhood has offered you wisdom. Someone from the past, soulmates from the past, you are connecting to these individuals for a reason, to truly help you get out of your Nine of Swords energy. This is the battle, the journey in the mind that we take alone. Okay? This is where how our thoughts are not of service to us, Aqua. And we are pushed into our emotional body to truly balance everything out, because if we're stuck in the mind, we're not using our emotional body, yeah? It becomes a burden. Our passions, these are the wands. This is how the Wands journey starts. It's a spark, it is passion, it is divine fire, you know, it's exciting, which is exactly what the Knight of Wands feels. He remembers, because the Knight of Wands follows the Ten of Wands. But the Wands, when there's too much passion, too much energy, too much confidence, it can tip into pride, you know, false sense of pride. It can tip into overconfidence. It can tip into anger, all right? But the Knight, on some level, he is wise because he knows how heavy the Ten of Wands is. Before he graduates into a Knight, straight after this card, he has decided to release the burdens of the excess fire that he carries within him. This is definitely a journey about integrating loss. You've now got 4 fives, guys. 5, 5, 5, 5. This is a year where you get to change this. It is within your hands, and truly move towards peace. More peaceful waters, perhaps after a time of disrupt. And I feel strongly the last 2 years, you know, there's like this wiser version of you wanting to come through, and all you've been allowing yourself is a youthful version of you. And you know, when it comes to our cognitive development, if something happens like a fracture, a trauma, and it doesn't have to be traumatic, okay? It is a grief, it is a loss, it is something that could have happened in childhood. It is something that could have happened within any experience where we experience a loss of our faith in our emotional body, where we experience a loss of faith and trust in opening our heart. Like, what does it get me anyway? When we experience those fractures, what was I going to say, Aqua? We can be quite youthful in our development, like, because it's fractured us, it's paused us at a certain point in our conscious development, yeah? Because we didn't keep getting wiser, we didn't keep taking risks, we didn't keep opening our heart, so it fractures us to a youthful level. Like, I feel like someone pressed pause on some of the Aquas I'm connecting here, because you stopped your growth on some level. We're paused at the night. There's old wisdom trying to come through. Look at how old that man is. Male or female, there's deep wisdom trying to, and underneath the deck is the King. You know, that's what I hope that has relayed in the way I've wanted to. It's almost like an experience pressed pause on your development in the realms of the heart, in the realms of love, in the realms of beliefs, around the safety of opening your heart, and whether that happened in childhood, whether that happened in a significant relationship. This year is about you getting clear, getting the truth, and moving forward. This is actually your conscious choice. Okay? All right, my lovely Aquas, I feel the need to pull another card for you. Now, this is from the Oracle of the Unicorns. For many Aquas, you've got this and you know it, okay? If anything, it's like just this will and choosing you have to keep reverting to, back to your willpower, back to your solar plexus, to say, how does this serve me? this choice, this belief, this me pressing pause on my choice every time life offers me an opportunity to open my heart, express my emotions, to trust in loving it. Holy dooly. I feel like those two. Support. You are supported. You are supported by the divine. You are supported by your higher self. Feeling supported naturally helps us feel trust that I'm safe. Okay? Ask for help. Get more rest. Nurture yourself. Strength. Look at this. Ooh. Strength. Look at the eyes. Powerful. Again, that purple is third eye chakra. Look at the color of his eyes, or her eyes. This challenge will make you stronger. This experience, this journey thus far has made you stronger, Aqua. You will get through it to the other side. Look for the gifts in your situation. Past lives are relevant here. Past connections, past lives, this lifetime and others, okay? Release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. Big theme for many of the zodiacs because, as you guys know, 5 planets are in retrograde. There is actually 6 in June as we finish off, because I'm reading in June. I'll be delivering this for July, obviously, but 5 is a number of change, and you've got 4 5s on the table, my dear. 4 5s are 20. Maybe something about when you were 20, maybe 20 years ago. Okay, maybe a 20-year-old is relevant. There's a story here. Okay, but that is your message for the month of July, my lovely Aquas. Like I said, go ahead and check out the Instagram page where you will see your quick read for the week beginning June 29th, the first week of July. But this was your Practically Soulful reading for the month of July, and you will also see your first fortnight reading for July up on the channel soon. I hope this has helped. I hope this resonates. If so, please do like, share, comment, and let your other empath, sensitive, and intuitive friends know where to find the channel. Alrighty? Have a beautiful month of July. Namaste.